97.5 The Rock. It is Pedal to the Metal Wednesday, and running late, and we're just kind of freewheeling here. That was Lynn Baticki, and he had an exciting weekend. I tell you, man, lucky no one got hurt on that one as that body just took off up into the crowd there. It's Z-Max Dragway. So
it looked a lot worse. I mean, it could have been worse. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. It flew in there, and it's like you said, now they're talking about doing the tether thing to the bodies and stuff, but they're all carbon fiber. The thing weighs 150 pounds, so when it comes floating back down, but I've always been a concern. I mean, you've been to a drag race already and been around with a fireball, and you can feel the concussion of the thing exploding.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they got blankets all over the motor. Back in the day when I first started going to these things, when they exploded, you ducked.
Parts and pieces went flying, yeah.
You were in the grandstand, you ducked. And I mean, I've been, watched them bounce off trailers on the other side of the grandstands. That's the stuff goes flying when those things let go. So
we were talking when we went to the Tri-State Speedway, and we kind of set mid-pack because it was pretty packed, and I started looking up, and there were a few places up higher. And I said, "Oh, you want to get more elevation? Huh? I want to get out of the dust." I said, "No, the dust doesn't bother me. I just don't want a sprint car sitting on my lap.
Yeah.
I know how these guys can get moving. A little different when they're running tops, but it's like, man, the drag race, there is so much when those things come apart. They come apart, and that, like you said, back in the day, they would come apart and go every which way. Now, at least it's a little bit more contained. But you're right. It was a little bit. It looked worse than it really was, but it was pretty packed.
It could have been bad. I mean, it could have landed really directly on somebody and hit them when they weren't paying attention. That's for sure. I guess as they say, they got lucky.
Keep your
That's the whole thing. They got lucky on that one. So
keep your eyes on the track.
I'm sure NHRA is going to look at figure out some way. I know a couple teams have talked about building some kind of a framework and attaching these things so a majority of the pieces stay together. But when those things let go, I mean, it's a big boom. There's no doubt about that.
Well, sitting in here now, a young man from what
has no interest in drag racing.
No interest in drag racing. He wants to run the Mudslingers from Santa Rosa, California. You're gonna have to help me out. Make sure I get your name right, James Edens, right? Jump on that microphone there, brother, and we're gonna throw you into the bus, and it's trial by fire now. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good. So, what brings you to the God's country from California to Southern Illinois, in particular Southwestern Illinois?
We're gonna race at Crate Limo this summer.
And you're doing some shopping there with Scott Kuhn there, and he works at the Highland Speedway putting some shows together a couple times, and right now finished cleaning everything up, I'm sure, getting the oil change. I heard listening in there, you got some little maintenance time for Scotty. But Crate Late Models, are you a race fan? How'd you get involved in this? Is it a family thing, or you just give us the history, my friend?
My dad raced late models, and he raced late models for a long time.
Right.
And then
you don't want to say how old Dad is. That would be bad. So he's done it for some time. He's a veteran.
Yes. No, I started when I was about 6 in the outlaw carts.
Mm-hmm.
A buddy of my dad's ran it. His kids ran it, and they got me into that. And then my dad quit racing and pretty much supported me through that.
Right. And that's you kind of get that, Tim. Every once in a while, you've got the kids coming up, and as guys have kids and they start racing, and the kids get a flavor for it, get a taste for it, and they start running. It's time to mothball their car and focus on their racing. You've seen that a couple times, haven't you, Tim?
Oh yeah, it happens. I mean, the guys also they realize too that their kids probably a little bit better than what they were. That happens. Not that I don't know your dad, so I'm not going there with that. But I'm just saying there has been situations where the kid has really come around, and plus the fact that dad. A lot of, after watching their kids run and watching other people race, know they can relate a little bit better because they know the feel that they're going for, whatever they're going to describe what the car needs to be doing and what the driver should be feeling. So it works out good, and it's probably a good bond. You guys traveled all the way across the country together then, and Scott said you guys stopped off on your way back, and this guy races besides late model. He's got him a outlaw cart, so they just happened to drive through Texas on the way up here. And what happened then, bud?
It was a invitational race. It was $5,000 to win. It was a pretty good payout. It's the biggest race they have. And there was about 40 cars there. And we qualified 8th. And then we started the feature back in 7th, and then lost brakes halfway through, but still came home in 3rd.
That's not a bad thing. What were you putting your shoe on the ground? How are you? How do you work that when you don't have any brakes, Scooter? How's that work?
Luckily, it was a big track. You pretty much ran wide open.
Okay, so just let it hang out. No, I got you. So not a bad payday there. And tell us about give me the skinny on the outlaw card for those of us around here in this area that might not know what you're talking about.
It's pretty much a mini sprint car. No suspension or anything, though. Just sit in the middle and go.
Gotcha. And how long have you been racing those?
10 years.
10 years. And what made you decide to make the jump? Of course, your dad running late models, and I know Open Wheel, the CRA, and of course the World of Outlaws, USAC makes their turns through there. Is the late model racing in California? It's in the northern area, right? Is it Northern California up in that?
Yeah, it's pretty much
big?
All throughout California.
Is it a pretty big one out there? Because I know you hit and miss, or do you have little sections of the state where you'll hit the late models?
It's pretty, actually. It's not very good out there. The car count's pretty low.
Right.
But I mean, they still try to keep it up out there.
So it's
what's the major dirt track deal that they do out there? Sprint cars, is that where they're at?
Sprint cars, yeah.
It's real big out in California then.
Right. So obviously you decided to look around, and do you have family ties to the Midwest, or how did you end up here? You just throw a dart at the map and we're going to Highland.
Yeah. No, we got hooked up with Lance, and then pretty much went where he was going to go.
Gotcha. And of course, Lance is doing some crew chiefing for you, helping you out there.
Yeah, Lance Stiders is originally from this area. He's been down in NASCAR country for the last, he's been down there about 10 or 15 years.
15 years. So,
yeah. Yeah, he worked with Adam Petty and when Scott was all down there working with them guys. So, he's got a pretty good resume, doesn't he, as far as what doing stuff and doing on dirt. That's second nature to him. That's what he did around here. He won a bunch of stuff when he was dirt racing back here. So, yeah, you definitely got a good crew chief. We talked about, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought both the Dillon
kids.
Dillon kids up for Richard Childress. So, he's got somebody there that is going to help you. So, I guess you pay attention, you might learn something, right?
That's the plan.
So I guess, have you had any opportunities to get out on the track this season? I mean, outside of the weather, which is so great here in Southern Illinois this time of year. But I mean, have you had an opportunity to go turn left and mash it a little bit?
Not yet.
Not yet. Hoping, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but you've been behind the wheel of the late model already, though, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah. How's that been going for you?
We ran 13 races last summer, picked up 1 win and a lot of top 5s.
Really? Well, he may be younger in a pair of shoes that I have, but he seems to know how to wheel a car. He's getting some victories and some top 5s. What are you looking to do? I mean, where this is in Highland. Are you wanting to move on up the scale? I mean, where do you have your aspirations? I know you're a young cat and being 16, is that right?
Yes.
16 years old. What do you want to do in, say, 5-10 years? Where do you want to be?
Probably running the World of Outlaws or the Lucas Oil Tour.
Okay, so you kind of you like the dirt, don't you?
Yeah.
That dirt is cool. I love the mud.
So you're hanging around out here through summer here in the Midwest. What series are you planning on running with the crates then?
I think we're just going to run pretty much anywhere.
Just wherever they got a crate race. The weekends that they run at Highland and Tri-City runs them, I guess, every Friday, and a couple other tracks too. Now you planning on running down with the fast track or the Neesmith guys? You're going to try to stay with just the UMP stuff?
Probably mostly UMP stuff.
Is that where you're going to stay with that?
Yeah.
So there you go. And of course, coming in from Santa Rosa, California. What do you miss about California?
The weather.
It'll change real quick. We were talking off mic that have you spent any summers in the Midwest?
Nope,
oh, brother,
this will be the first one.
It gets hot.
Yeah.
And I mean, it gets Africa hot. I mean, humid Africa. Tarzan can't handle this kind of hot. Drink lots of water as it gets miserable. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
He said, man, he's wanting to go racing.
Anything that would keep me out of this.
Yeah. It ain't gonna bother him. He like us old parts. It kills us to be outside in humidity anymore. Man, back in the day, we used to ride around with the windows down, never had air conditioning, black vinyl interior and all that stuff. But no, not no more.
I would much rather have that than the cold.
Oh,
you know me.
I agree with you there.
I'm a sun worshiper there. So you're going to be knocking around, just trying to pick up some races, get some experience here in the Midwest, which it sounds like you've got a pretty good saddle on that. You picked up a victory, a few top 5s, running 13 races last year?
Yeah.
And you wanting to make that jump up to the supers. And have you had an opportunity to take a super around the track or not?
Not yet.
Not yet? I'm sure somebody might give you maybe a couple laps out there and get a feel for that horsepower. But the Crates series, I really like the way that it's structured with all the traveling series and the folks running them regular. It gives people an opportunity to get a feel, like you guys were talking. It gives people an opportunity to get a feel for racing a car that's going to be a top-tier car. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where like you were talking about before I came in, where guys would just go out to the junkyard, grab a car, and start working on it. Those days are gone. But that's really where it came from, and this gives you a little taste of it without spending well, you're still going to spend money.
Yeah.
But by comparison, the amount of money that goes out and into the super late realm is astronomical by comparison to the crate. So.
Right. Well, one thing about if you're going to hang around this part of the country, and I'm sure you talk to everybody that's around here that, on nights at Highland don't run crates and stuff, that we've got a lot of crate cars that fill out the field at Highland on a Saturday night and actually run competitive. So, I mean, that's a good place to kind of hone your skills too on these little bull rings. But I guess if you're looking towards the super late models and you're looking for Lucas Oil or the World of Outlaws, you're definitely looking at the bigger tracks. So you're looking at Paducah and tracks of that size to race on. Have you ever been on it? What's the size tracks that you normally run with the crate?
Mostly we ran the crate. It was a quarter mile.
Mm-hmm. You have barely any half mile or anything big like that yet?
3/8 was the
3/8, so it's like a Peebly track. Have you been around to see any of these tracks, or you just seen them on TV, that type of deal?
I haven't really seen any of them. We went and saw Highland last night. That was
Oh, you're in for a treat there, right?
Yeah. You should have been out there Saturday or Friday night. Saturday, they probably could have got some skiing in there. Yeah. I'm not sure. I saw some of the photos from there.
Could at least waited out and got Scott's trucks in anywhere, swam out there. You probably do a lot of swimming on the West Coast. Yeah. So you haven't really been to any of the big tracks yet to get your fill of that. Are you planning on getting down and running at Paducah sometime this summer yet then?
Yeah, maybe actually next week we were looking at it.
You're looking at Paducah that soon, and that's a big old hole in the ground. And it's first time I was there, I walked out there on turn 4 and I looked out across there and go, wow.
It's a big fast track, boy.
It's a big old hole.
It's a scary fast track.
I'm not saying it's being a hole, it's being a dump. I'm just saying it's a big old hole in the ground. It's a long way around that thing, and it's fast. I run a push truck around there one night. We were out there late. Back in the day, they used to run 2 o'clock in the morning. The guy driving the push truck had to bail, so I jumped in and run the push truck. You had to run an old Jeep Cherokee 45 mile an hour just to keep it on the track. So, I mean, that's the banking and stuff. Not to scare you or anything, but I'm just telling you, it's going to be it's a thrill. Anybody that's wants to be a driver, that's one of the places that you definitely need to hit that place and get your chops there at the Paducah track.
It's a fun track. It is. So, man, it sounds like you've got your plans made this summer. And when you do make it to the bigs and you get up into the World of Outlaw late models and Lucas Oil, let us know and we will know. But whenever we call you, you will return our calls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we can get you back on the air there. And just remember your first radio interview was right here. No, don't forget us little folk. Right, Tim?
Yes, you're right. Don't run off and forget us,
Indeed.
Yeah, we might want a T-shirt or something. You might have to front us on that.
Yeah, and we're radio guys, so anything free you can throw our way, we'll take it. We'll take it. No problems there. James Edens,
we work on the cheap.
He's Santa Rosa. That's right, Santa Rosa, California. He's coming down here to the Midwest, going to do some mudslinging in the crates with hopefully jumping up to the supers at some point. And you may see him out there at the track. You do tell him to say hey and welcome to the Midwest.
So you plan on being in Highland Saturday night if we race?
Yes.
And what's your car number?
It's going to be number 52.
Number 52. So we know if number 52 is out there in the crates. So we'll look for you. I happen to be a track announcer, so me and Doug Jenkins will make sure we'll get you plenty of ink up there to let everybody know where you're from and stuff and what you're doing. So,
any sponsors you want to toss out there? Or you?
Yeah.
I like to thank Lance Diders and Team Freak for getting the car together, TNT Chassis, and then Hendred Motors.
Yeah. There you go.
It sounds like you got some good backing behind you then, huh?
Yeah, you gotta have you tried the ski yet, my friend?
Yes, I have.
How's that treating you?
That's good.
You're going to be carting her back now, buddy. You know it.
Yeah, every time he comes through the Midwest, he'll be swinging through Breeze and filling up the toter with ski. And that's why I was on his drag race, and I couldn't go anywhere without bringing some along with me. So, yeah, you're hooked.
Indeed.
That's one of if racing's not a bad enough habit, that is probably the worst one you've ever introduced him to, is getting hooked up with ski.
There you go. There you go.
Talk to somebody who's been drinking it for 50 years.
Indeed. And and you try the cherry ski, too, even better, too. I love cherry ski, so check that out. It's pedal to the metal. I almost said Motor Racing Monday. It's been Motor Racing Monday, dude, for 4 years, and then we switched it to Wednesdays, and we're now calling it pedal to the metal, so I caught myself in mid-motor. So
that happens.
It happens. We got some more stuff to kick around.
Yeah, we got some Brandon Mudd stuff coming up after we take a short break. I want to mention the fact that we'll get Scott back on here, too.
Yep.